Getty Labour was accused of betraying Brexit voters. Labour sources said the amendments to the government's EU withdrawal bill were drafted to try to make the country adopt the Norway model of EU membership. But leading Brexit supporters last night rubbished the move as a fresh attempt to keep Britain tied to Brussels forever. Senior Tory MP Jacob Rees-Mogg, chairman of the Backbench European Research Group, said the Labour proposals would turn the UK into a vassal state forced to accept rules from Brussels without a voice in determining EU policy. The Norway model is the vassal state, not Brexit, and the Labour Party will need to answer to its many Leave voters, Mr. Rees-Mogg said. Labour are betraying their own manifesto pledge, betraying the country and betraying millions of Labour voters who backed leaving the EU. Andrew Bridgen, another senior Tory MP, said, Labour are betraying their own manifesto pledge, betraying the country and betraying millions of Labour voters who backed leaving the EU. Labour's proposals were designed to toughen up an amendment passed by the House of Lords seeking to keep Britain closely tied to the EU's single market after Brexit. MPs will vote on the Labour proposals next Tuesday, during a crunch series of Commons votes as the government attempt to overturn passed by the House of Lords. Many Labour MPs want Britain to remain a member of the European Economic Area (EEA) after the country quits the EU. Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein are all members of the EEA without being members of the EU. But critics say EEA membership will mean Britain will be forced to obey Brussels rules without having a voice in how rules are determined. Labour's amendments seek to give the UK full access to the internal market of the European Union, underpinned by shared institutions and regulations, with no new impediments to trade and common rights, standards and protections as a minimum. Shadow EU Exit Secretary Keir Starmer said, Labour will only accept a Brexit deal that delivers the benefits of the single market and protects jobs and living standards. Unlike the Tories, Labour will not sacrifice jobs and the economy in the pursuit of a reckless and extreme interpretation of the referendum result. Keir Starmer Labour will only accept a Brexit deal that delivers the benefits of the single market. Existing single market agreements that the EU has negotiated with third countries, including Norway, are bespoke deals negotiated with the EU to serve the best interests of those countries. We need to learn from them and negotiate our own more ambitious agreement, which serves our economic interests and which prevents a hard border in Northern Ireland. 2 years on from the referendum, it is clear that the government has no plan for how it will protect jobs and the economy, and guarantee no hard border in Northern Ireland. Labour's amendment, along with a commitment to negotiate a new comprehensive customs union with the EU, is a strong and balanced package that would retain the benefits of the single market. Parliament should have the opportunity to debate and vote on it. Labour MP Shakamina, a leading supporter of the Open Britain campaign, urged his fellow MPs to back the amendment in next week's vote. He said, the only way of realizing the objectives set out in the amendment, short of EU membership, is through the UK being part of the European Economic Area, as a minimum. Like the Tory government and hard Brexiteers, this amendment seeks access to the EU's single market, but this is nowhere near enough. What the overwhelming majority of Labour members and supporters want is so much more: to be part of the framework of protections for workers, consumers and the environment which being part of the European Economic Area uniquely offers to non-EU members. Getty Labour MP Shakamina, a leading supporter of the Open Britain campaign, all the way through the passage of this bill, the only amendments which have commanded support on both sides of the House and passed are cross-party backbench ones. So, if we are serious about protecting full access to the internal market of the EU and ensuring no new impediments to trade, logic dictates Labour MPs should be whipped to support the cross-party EU amendment sent to us by the House of Lords. But a senior Tory source said, Jeremy Corbyn needs to make his mind up. If he is talking about wanting to stay in the single market, Britain cannot negotiate new trade deals with the rest of the world.